So yeah, today I'm going to be talking about the One File Cloud. Will pretty much be just a bit of a talk about how you can essentially ship a cloud app as one database file and have it in more of a offline first, collaborative, and edge ready kind of approach essentially. So a bit of introduction about myself. As I was already provided introduction before, I think it was captured quite a number of good points already. But aside from that, I currently also hold 20 certifications from Microsoft Azure, and I'm an AWS community builder and microservices trainer. I'm also an instructor and author. I wrote some books as well, such as the Azure AI Engineer Associate Study Guide, which is published by O'Reilly. I'm also an international speaker at over 50 events and conferences. Also the organizer of the Melbourne Python Meetup, came from Melbourne in Australia. And in general, I enjoy all things AWS, open source, generative AI, and virtual reality. And let's get a bit more into the thesis now. So, a bit of the thesis. A modern cloud app should be able to ship as a portable artifact, essentially in the shape of a app.SQLite file. So we want to be able to have instant local dev. So have things such as being able to do prod shape state as a file and have it being able to be cloned and essentially being able to test it, diff it, and snapshot it. We want to be able to have fewer moving parts in the sense that being able to replace service meshes and also queue the relevant choreography as well with one convergent state model. But ultimately, we also want to be able to have painless rollbacks in having rollback as a file swap. So having the recovery itself be in terms of the restore and replay. So you can think about it as a WAL or delta essentially. And why this particular workflow would work now. So a few things. SQLite is quite grown up by now. We are able to see that WAL mode has better concurrency. It's more battle tested as well when you think about having it as a file format. And there are a lot of robust backup primitives that it would essentially have. And browsers would be able to persist real files. So having the WASM and OPFS to be able to make local DB in the browser more practical, fast, and also durable, but at the same time as well, having CRDT sync get more ergonomic in the sense that we would have local first collaboration without merge conflicts, added with the fact that we would also have better, more efficient change exchange along the process too. And to understand a bit more, let's look at how microservices would go towards artifacts specifically. So we would have a bit of a flow starting from API gateways. So think about the routing, auth, rate limits, going into the DB search, essentially, going into SQL indexes, replicas. So let's say that we then have, say, service A and service B. So we have business logic caching, and we then also have service B, which is like workers and queues. That fun flow down, trickle down to the event bus, which would show a bit more on the retries, ordering, and also replay side. And that app binary would then form more or less in the shape of the app.SQLite in the sense of having the synchronization and replication as well to be able to keep the relevant copies convergent. So you can think of it as having an edge. So basically going from local read from one edge, going from local read to another edge, and yeah, basically going to another local read from another edge as well. So in here, state is going to be the artifact. So having it essentially be portable, testable, and also inspectable, having less infrastructure glue, having fewer failure nodes, and also having edge reads that are cheap when every node would have a local copy. So this is one sample architecture of how it might look like when you fit it into the broader picture. So you would have, for instance, from the users, the browser app, WASM, and SQLite as one part of it. You would then have, say, for instance, like the mobile or desktop app that could be part of that. And it could also then show the SQLite runtime that would be relevant to the mobile or desktop app. But ultimately then, that would flow in. You would have a synchronization session that would go to a specific sync gateway. You would have the relevant authentication and also the session routing accordingly as well. It's a two-way flow, as you can see over there. would essentially go towards the synchronization gateway, and then that would go to the CRDT synchronization engine. And keep in mind that in there, this is really going to take place in the edge region. So it's going to take place there, and the CRDT sync engine, merge and conflict resolution, it pretty much is going to flow there. And after that, it's going to go into the observability aspect. And that's pretty much where we would see the logs and traces and metrics that would be relevant towards being able to see what would be these necessary for us to log and also to notify on based on alerting and observability perspective. And we would then also have a lightweight replication layer, which you can see over there, which essentially is going to flow then to the one database file, which I was mentioning before too. That is going to be the database file that's going to contain more or less all the artifacts that we needed, as was per the thesis that I mentioned earlier too. That is going to be the central repository in a sense, a center of file storage of like what we need as part of that particular database. And that would essentially go to from the browser app, WASM, and also from the mobile desktop app, having the relevant local reads and writes that would go towards the one database file. And accordingly, that will also set it up for offline edits. So that would pretty much flow then to the append-only operation log. So the append-only operation log itself would flow from the browser app, the mobile desktop app, the CRDT sync engine, and pretty much if we need any extra service as well, we could of course also enrich it as well with having specific AI support as well. And that's why over there is specific optional supporting services layer where we have, for instance, Gen AI enrichment in terms of drafts, search, summaries, which could accordingly put through, for instance, say like version suggestions. And accordingly, we would also see that there is the object storage exports and recovery that would pretty much flow from the snapshots and backups that might be done as part of the one database file itself. And let's look at a bit more at SQLite at the core itself. So some things that are important to get out of the way first. Treat the database file as the application state artifact. We want to be able to ensure that we maintain it as that, as such, to be able to ensure that it can best put through what it needs. And use WAL mode for better read-write concurrency, model invariants with the relevant constraints and triggers, not just the application code. And of course, ensure that operations such as the snapshot, the backups that you do, and also the restore are first-class operations. And at the same time, having the same file also hold relevant user data, synchronized state, and having the relevant, for instance, like AI context. If you do want to put it like in AI context, such as the prompt history, retrieval chunks, and inference traces accordingly. So just kind of like an example of having it as a app file format, running operations versus AI, pretty much like accordingly specifying journal mode, specifying synchronous, and yeah, pretty much creating a table as well based on, for instance, in this case, like the ID, title, body, updated, and yeah, keeping search local as well along that process too. And WASM and SQLite itself would work well within the browser itself too. So we would essentially have reads that would be instant because they essentially would never really hit the network essentially. So have like offline as a default is already one thing to be able to put it at rest, to be able to essentially have, because the database would already be local itself, and having sync itself to be able to ship the changes, not simply just the relevant requests. And accordingly, it's good to think about it in terms of having the server as a coordination and replication kind of service and not really just a query engine. And in general, even when the model inference is remote, having the local retrieval, context assembly, and the queue draft workflows would still happen in the browser if we put it in as such. So having client-side queries, such as having the constdb accordingly await the open SQLite, await the exec based on the journal mode as WAL, and we would have the queries as well, fetch the relevant rows, so select from doc where ID. And we would then also be able to then put through with CRDT-based synchronization as well. And you would look at representing firstly the edits as operations with causal metadata that you would put through. So let's look a bit of the conversion sketch that you can see over here. So you would look at something, for instance, say like you have client A, where operations that performed are A1, A2, A3, and you would then look also at having client B, which would have operations like B1, B2, and that would essentially merge the relevant operations in the causal order. So effectively causing the same state everywhere. And that essentially is the convergence sketch that we want to be able to put through and understand from that. And so you would then have the peers exchange the deltas, converge to the same state. You would not have a central lock. The server can be dumb. It can pretty much relay, persist, and replicate accordingly. And as part of that, like there could also be like AI generate edits as well if you do decide to integrate with AI, for instance, to be represented as just another stream of operations, which could make suggestions like more observable, reversible, or merge safe to be able to implement as part of that. And continuing on as well across the edge nodes, you would also look at having write leader per database file. So this could be in terms of a lease or consensus. You would also look at streamlining as well, from having streaming WAL pages or replicate change batches to replicas. And accordingly, you would serve reads locally as well in every region for low consistency. So this is just an example of how it looked like. You would have the primary writing accordingly and the replicas accordingly, having multiple ones to read. And yeah, pretty much just having ops that stay boring, ensure that you are deploying the binary and database file together, having relevant rollback and backups put appropriately too. And just some best practices, having the relevant write path discipline is important, ensuring that you are putting the relevant sharding by the file, schema as the contract, having the relevant synchronization as the safety rails, and having observability. And just make sure as well that you know where it breaks to. So because the pattern is not magic, high write concurrency is a problem, cross-tenant analytics, and these are definitely some patterns that you need to be aware of. And a 60-second walkthrough gives model, run the local first, encode changes, synchronize, and replicate. And system takeaways, ship state as a file, do your work locally, and more or less just make your ops read observable and reversible. So this is just for you who is a more kind of like interested in kind of like learning more of the integration of the AI side of things as well. As mentioned, I'm also the writer as well of a book as well called the Azure Engineers Associate Study Guide. So yeah, if you're interested kind of like learning more about AI or integrating this kind of thing into your workflows as well, based on like, for instance, like the Azure system, yeah, you can pretty much check this out. I'm also pretty much giving away 2 books today, but yeah, pretty much since we're running out of time, you can pretty much just find me after this, and I'm happy to, yeah, pretty much kind of like just like see about yeah, giving away basically. And yeah, pretty much thank you again. I'll since we're out of time, I'll take questions after this. You can find me outside, and yeah, thank you again for everyone.